Hi, it's Jen back with the Easy Piece Table Runner for November. I had so much fun coloring this project. Casey drew our beautiful applique motif on either end. He chose a cornucopia with all kinds of beautiful fruits and vegetables that I had a lot of fun coloring. And there's a really cool feature on this one that says give thanks. One of the things about the prefused laser cut kits is that you don't have to worry about cutting and tracing that out. What we've done is this is a piece here, the brown, and behind that is a piece of the cream, and we've laser cut that out. So all you have to do is put the cream behind, the brown on top, and you're on your way. So we really do take a lot of effort to make sure that the kits we give you are they're so fun to put together and fast, so you can move on to more and more projects. But before we get to the applique portion, let's talk about how easy it is to put the blocks together. For this month, I chose each of the blocks is of course the same construction, but I used some different fabrics so that each of the three was just a little bit different. It starts off very simply with making a 4-patch out of 7-inch squares. So of course you'll need your download. That's available on the Shabby Fabrics homepage. At the very bottom, click on free projects. You'll be looking for the Easy Piece Table Runner for November. We're well into this series. Be sure to go back and grab the other ones. Kits are available for everything you see, at least for a limited time while that fabric is still available. So if you love what you see, grab it, because of course fabric has a very limited time that it's produced, and then they bring out new fabric. So inside that download, you will have multiple pages, of course full color, making it simple to follow along. You'll have 2 diagrams, reverse diagram and the assembly. There's a lot of pieces in this one. This may be a reason that you might want to choose the kit this time, maybe if you haven't in the past. So you can just jump right into the fun, let us do all the work for you. Of course, the applique pieces have fusible webbing on the back. We choose Heat and Bond Light. If you are using the laser cut kit that we've produced for you, you'll just be using the assembly diagram. If you're tracing on your own, you'll be using the reverse diagram, of course, and then later using the applique diagram. But let's jump back into the block. As I said, the blocks, there are 3 blocks. They're assembled exactly the same. They use a variety of different fabrics in each of the 3 blocks. You'll start off with your 4-patch and you're pressing all your seams open throughout the entire block. So no change up in the pressing instructions. So moving right into the pattern, you can see we've got our picture here. I'll move that a little bit closer to make sure you see it. And I want to point out here, there's our center line, our seam. We're going to be cutting 2 inches on either side of that, both on the vertical seam and the horizontal. Watch how lovely it is to be able to use my spinning mat, because I don't have to disturb my fabrics. I will rotate this I think 4 times, and I'll be making a 2-inch cut. So I'll be using my 2.5 inch by 24.5 inch, and I'll be using the side with the white dots toward me because these are whole numbers. All I have to do is find my 2 and lay that solid line right along my seam. I love that it helps me be easily successful. I need that, right? Otherwise I could potentially be cutting the wrong size. So let me just lift that up. I'm going to rotate that block 90 degrees. I'm going to lay that 2 right along that seam, lining everything up carefully, and cut again. And we'll do it again. The best part about a spinning mat is you're not tempted to make some crazy cut, sideways, and I don't have to move my pieces. You can imagine if I was trying to cut around every side, I'd have to literally be lifting up the fabric, kind of putting it back together, and that's when inaccuracies come in. Okay, that's my final cut, and I'm going to turn that back. Let me close my blade so that my sight picture is just like in my picture here. Now notice the little switch. All we're going to do is literally switch we're going to go clockwise and rotate our square in the corner. That one comes here, that one comes here, that one comes here, and that one comes here. And let's just confirm with our picture that this is our site picture. And that is everything. Isn't that amazing how easy that is? So let's see what we've got here. Let's just understand what is actually here. I'll kind of break it apart so you can see it. I know when it's all mushed together, it's difficult to kind of understand what we actually have here. Okay. So now you're going to assemble. You can just assemble. You could do it a variety of ways. You could go top to bottom here, top to bottom here, top to bottom here, pressing all seams open. Or you could go here and here, so that, and assemble this way, this one, and then sew those together. So I'll start that, and then I'll just keep going. And when we come back, I'll have my block already put together. So let's just get started. In fact, I'm going to put a couple of these together. I'm going to go, just like we've talked about before, doing very efficient trips to the sewing machine. Just going to put a couple pins in here. So nothing moves. These blocks go together so fast. Okay, and now we'll get started. I was tempted to go do that without some pinning, and I would have probably been okay, but I don't want to have any seam ripping today. So let's just keep pinning. So I'm going to keep sewing my block together. We'll get started, and when I come back, everything will be put together here. So I've sewn my block together, and as I mentioned, I pressed my seams open the whole time, and I definitely pinned, especially in areas where I had seams coming from here to here where I wanted to have that continuous visual line, and pressed everything open. You'll repeat that process with the other fabrics, making your 4-patch, and again, you'll be cutting that and rotating and rotating and rotating, and then you're just going to be assembling. So pretty straightforward with that. When you get ready to do your applique, you'll have your background fabric, and you'll have your top and your ground. You'll go ahead and put that on first. And I definitely recommend using a Fusimat, a light box, in pre-assembling various sections. We went ahead and put together the pumpkin, for example, by itself. We went ahead and put together the squash by itself and the corn by itself. It's so much easier to be able to bring that all the way to the background in bigger sections versus all just individual pieces. If that's new to you, if that's not something you've done before, in conjunction with the light box, the Fusimat, that's where you'll be using your assembly diagram, and you'll be just focusing on those individual things. And the Fusimat, you can iron to that and be able to peel off of that and kind of set those things apart. We've definitely done a lot of video on a more extensive process where we actually do that from beginning to end. So if that's new, definitely go check out those videos. But once you have that applique done, that's where you can choose the beautiful thread set to stitch everything down. I just love these deep warm hues for fall. It's one of my favorite seasons. To stitch everything down, of course, you'll sew your 3-piece blocks together. You'll sew the applique on either end, and you'd finish it as you normally would. We'd love to hear if you're enjoying this series. We are working on the Easy Piece Table Runner for December, and I'll see you for that video in no time at all. See you then.